All right, part 11. This is for educational purposes only. This is not your policy. This is a sample policy. I'm just trying to help y'all understand a little bit more about home insurance. Okay, so right here, we're moving on to the next one, number 7. All right, the failure by any insured person to take all reasonable steps to preserve property when the property is endangered by the cause of loss we cover. So what that is saying is, and it ties into number 8, any substantial change or increased hazard if changed or increased by any means within the control or knowledge of an insured person. So what that means is, if you know um, if you know that you got a hole in your roof and it's just leaking in your attic, you knew that, right? The things that the adjuster looks at when he comes out to gauge if it's repeated negligence is basically mold, especially with water. You can tell, and we can tell if the damages are old versus new. Like, it's just common sense. So even if you do have a leak in your on your roof, at least do a patch. You ain't gotta do the whole roof, but at least do the patch, because that lets the insurance know that you are taking the proper steps to protect your property, right? You just letting it leak. Oh, they gonna take care of it. 2 months go by, man. I ain't worried about that. I'm on. They gonna pay me. They gonna No, they not, because by the time they get out there, they gonna look at it and say, hey, you didn't take the necessary steps to protect your property. So, and you gotta understand, these people don't play. All right. All right, so then you got number 9, intentional or criminal um, acts of or direct of any insured person. If the loss occurs, may reasonably expect it to result from such as an act or intentionally result of such acts. Basically, that's just saying somebody who, like if you go out and throw a rock at your window because you need some money, or you set your own house on fire. Like, that's basically what it's saying. Any criminal acts you trying to damage. It's kind of like insurance fraud. We all know not to do that. It don't make no sense. But anyway, they have to put that in there because this is a contract. All right. Now, the exclusions apply regardless of whether or not insured person is actually charged with or convicted of the crime. So even if you're not charged with the crime, this still applies, right? All right. Then you got number 10, collapse itself as specifically provided in section 1, additional protection under item 11. So it's saying that if you have a deck that collapsed, a wood treated deck that collapsed, they won't cover it. That's a exclusion. However, they're telling you to go to section 1, additional protection. So it may be some other um, caveats, right? That's in this particular policy that they will cover, right? So, like I said, this is just an example. This is not how your particular um, property insurance policy is going to look. That's why I specifically got one for mobile home, because most of y'all don't live in no mobile home. So it won't apply exactly, but some of these may. But anyway, then we're going to go over to soil conditions, including but not limited to corrosive actions, chemicals, compounds, elements, suspensions, crystal formations, or gel in the soil. All right. So as if you got any chemicals in the or toxic chemicals in soil or whatever, then don't apply. Okay, that's your cause of loss. Then you got vapors, fumes, acid, toxic chemicals, gases, liquids, solids, waste materials, or other contaminated or pollutions. So, if you live near a waste management system, most of y'all don't, but they have to put it in there, right? All right, so I'm gonna go to the last exclusion in the next video. So this is video 11. We're gonna move on to video 12. Like, share, comment.